there's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and 2 DRS zones will help with that as well. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some points during the Grand Prix. A tough race in store then for our drivers today, so tell me, Anthony Davidson, what will you be looking out for as the cars make their way down into turn 1?
Well, first of all, let's hope that everyone's well behaved and we can have a nice incident-free start. That initial release is going to be the most interesting thing. The clean side of the grid will be better rubbered in, so keep an eye out for cars over there potentially making their way through.
This is a really good starting position for us. Let's try not to lose it.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have a Renault, Vettel, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo, Verstappen, Palmer, Massa and Jenson Button, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso and Bottas, Hülkenberg, Kvyat, Romain Grosjean and Felipe Nasser, Wehrlein and Gutierrez, Marcus Ericsson and Rio Haryanto completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Hey guys, and welcome back to F1 2016 career mode. We are live at the Bahrain Grand Prix and away we go. We start from 3rd on the grid, decent start. We look to the inside, we're going to have a look down the inside of Rosberg into turn 1. And we're through, not quite. Rosberg keeps that place. But we're going to be in a good position for the slipstream down into turn number 4. We've had contact down there in the background. Not quite sure who that is off the track. But they are rejoining as we are up into 2nd position as we go through the S's. Nicely done. Speaking of Nico Rosberg behind us, Nico Rosberg retiring from Formula 1 as of yesterday, this being recorded on the Saturday morning. That was a bit of a shock, wasn't it? No, I don't think anybody was expecting him to do that, but I can completely understand why he's done so. I mean, if I was a champion with that sort of a family at the age of 31, I'd probably do the same thing, to be honest. But anyway, back onto this race. Slightly pulling away from Rosberg here. We're closing in on the back of Lewis Hamilton as we end lap 1. Car going in nicely there. Renault making big strides forward. As we're now in the slipstream of Lewis Hamilton, up to 210 miles an hour down into turn 1, and we have taken the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hopefully we can keep a hold of it as we go down the straight towards turn 4 one more time. Lewis might have a look at us here. Not quite close enough. Going to turn 4 and there's more contact. Much like last year where we had cars flying off all over the place and a virtual safety car is deployed as the mini-map shows 4 cars off. Here's another look at the start. Everyone away decently well. I luckily managed not to kill anybody off the start of the grid as we take 2nd place going into turn 1. Couldn't quite get the purchase out the corner as Rosberg on the medium compound tyre. Quite an odd tyre to start on, but he's on it nevertheless. As we go down his inside, we've got 2 Ferraris side by side and we've got the 2 Red Bulls side by side as they go through turn 4 and the S's. And here's later on in the lap, we've got the 2 Red Bulls side by side. That's Ricciardo passing Verstappen. Ricciardo on the super soft, Verstappen on the soft, and now we've got a Williams and Jolyon Palmer almost making it 4 wide down there to turn 1. Unfortunately we're missing that. There we go, look at that, the Williams trying to get 3 wide through there. Not gonna happen. And I think there was contact there, and certainly yes, Palmer gets spun round in the background by one of the Williamses. Lap 7 of 29. We've made a pit stop. We have come out in 7th position. We're on the medium compound tyre. We've got Grosjean and Palmer in front of us. Haryanto doing a good job there in 8th place for Manor as we pass Grosjean with the DRS. Down the middle straight. We're up into 6th place. We try and hunt down our teammate who will probably go into the pits at the end of this lap. Lap 19 of 29, and we are making our final pit stop. The story of the race has basically been us versus Rosberg. Lewis having a bit of trouble out there on the circuit throughout the race, so it's literally me and Rosberg.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
We've got yellow flags, and there's Nico Rosberg out of the race. Out of the race goes Nico Rosberg. Probably another engine failure. Safety car deployed. Unbelievably, the safety car has been deployed. Here we go, lap 23 of 29. We're about to go racing. Raikkonen really slowing the pace down. It's not been a great season so far for Mercedes, as we've had, last time out it was Lewis Hamilton retiring from the race. This time it's Nico Rosberg. We are back underway. Oh, and Raikkonen's got a problem. Raikkonen's got a problem. He's slowed down, and that's enabled us to take the lead off the start. The safety car's played out very nicely for Button as well, who got a free pit stop effectively in all of that. And he looks to attack us down into turn number 4. But Vettel's on his inside. He's on the super soft tyres. Hard on the brakes. We're through. Unattacked. But Vettel is also up into 2nd place. Although he's still trying to wrestle that off of Button. And he manages to get the job done. Lap 28 of 29. And Lewis Hamilton has finally managed to get through all of the carnage that has been going on, and he's up in 2nd place. He's on the medium tyre as we start the final lap of this Grand Prix. Through turn 1, that's 1 DRS zone down, and we're through. He might get in the slipstream into turn 4. No, can't quite do it. So he's only really got 1, maybe 2 places left. DRS straight and the back straight through the S's. He gets really close to us here. He's on the medium tyre, so his tyres might be in a better shape than ours at this point. Into the 2nd DRS straight. Hamilton's gone a little wide, so he's not able to capitalise on the 2nd DRS straight, so he's only got 1 more straight to go. That Mercedes engine's quite powerful, so he very well might do it. We need to make sure that we don't do what we did last year, where we locked up in the last corner and gave Button the last point. Looks like we're pulling away just a little bit from Hamilton, so we might just have this. As long as we don't lock up into the final corner like we did last year, we get through safely. Hamilton's run a little bit wide, so that looks like the race victory is ours, and it is, and we win the Bahrain Grand Prix as the fireworks go off above the paddock. And for the first time this season, we take the victory.
Brilliant stuff from Renault today. What a superb victory. And a have to wonder, Anthony
And there we
Davidson,
are, standing above the car,
from the competition.
taking in the cheers of the crowd.
Completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Here come today's
And
race
there's the
drivers.
podium.
What a race
For the
it
first
was.
time in quite a long
This is
time,
team
we are
that
on the
knows
podium.
success very well in F1, and they're just itching for
And there's
even
the
more.
car.
Congratulations to the Renault team for their excellent win today.
Such a contrasting turn of events. Unlike the last race in Australia where we were nowhere. And we suddenly come from that to a race victory. Just shows how F1 ebbs and flows throughout a season. So there we have it. Felipe Massa finished 3rd. Perez finished 4th. Button finished 6th after all of that. As we scroll down, Palmer finished 8th. Decent points for us. Rosberg and Gutierrez, we were only retirements. Raikkonen finished in 20th place with his engine issue. And look at that, we take the lead in the Drivers' Championship, I think. There's a look at some of the incidents. And we do indeed take the lead. Myself and Rosberg have both won races, but unlike him, I've finished both, so that means that I take the lead in the championship. Perez is 3rd in the championship. That's interesting. That's definitely going to be interesting to see how that filters out throughout the rest of the season. Fiat not having a great time of it, and Renault take 4th in the constructors. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was a pretty good race for us. The next one will be the Chinese Grand Prix, so I shall see you for that. Take care and see you soon.